beautiful people. Happy Saturday, May 9th. Our reading today starts with a quote from Albert Schweitzer. You don't live in a world all alone. Your brothers are here too. Some days we may be too shy to reach out to people. We're not alone. Others may be shy too. Often we can get the help we need by offering it to another. When we can overcome our shyness enough to offer support to someone else, we feel better about ourselves and the world. Soon, we'll find it easier to reach out to people, to begin a conversation, or to ask for help ourselves. These efforts succeed far more often than they fail. We don't have to let shyness keep us from people. We discover that giving blesses the giver as much as the receiver. Our higher power always sees to it, and we get what we need. All we need is to be open to that strength and to the fact that God's plan for us includes us sharing with others. Today, help me reach out to others and share of myself. That sounds like a step 12 reading, if I ever heard one, which is not a bad thing. I think that it's pretty important that people understand. Well, there's this one line that hits me the most. Giving blesses the giver as much as the receiver. And I'm not sure if you've ever experienced that. And I really got dialed into this when listening to a podcast from Brooke Castile last year. This really resonated with me. And it's actually part of why I think I was able to go to Asia, because I had listened to Brooke's podcast, and it must have been last June or July. And not too long after, I had a couple experiences. One where I had tried to help one of my friends who is very proud and doesn't want to accept help. And I told her, I used Brooke's line, like, hey, it's better sometimes to, sometimes giving is about the giver and not the receiver. So it's not a charity thing per se. And then that same week, someone wanted to give me something, which was contributing to the trip. So it was really wild how it came full circle. And I probably would have struggled to accept the gift for the contribution for the trip had I not gotten familiar with that premise. And there's two ways to talk about this topic. And one is in the sense of just the program, and one is in the sense of in the time now with COVID. I think I shared with you that some folks had donated maybe I didn't tell you. Well, some folks had donated anonymously their stimulus checks into one of the alcohol groups I'm in, and just wanted to make sure that people that needed it got it. And it has to be so difficult when we're so used to being alone for so long. And by alone, I mean us and our addictions alone, not alone, because we always have the good old standby of the bed or the drink or the whatever. And if you haven't forgiven yourself, or you're still in the mentality of I don't deserve help, all those things could eat into you. But the truth of the matter is sometimes we all need a little help, and we do deserve it, and it's okay. And maybe we can't pay it forward today or reciprocate in this moment. We can, down the road when we're better positioned, to help people. But as far as the program version, it's just time and thoughts and talks and phone calls or Zooms or texts. Giving yourself, there isn't a cost. It's the cost of time and cost of heart. So it's one of the easiest things to do, like at least maybe not super easy if you're shy, but easy from the perspective of money, like if money was an obstacle, and for some, maybe time is an obstacle. However, I would argue that if you don't make time for that and practice the recovery and going forward, then you're not necessarily getting all out of your recovery that you could or should, and maybe if you're a believer like I am, that the steps are important as a baseline for recovery. And again, I'm not saying that everybody has to do them. I just believe that they're definitely a good roadmap to healing as a person and moving forward as a person. So yeah, so even if you are shy, challenge yourself. And right now is a great time to do it. Join a Facebook group, and maybe you don't do videos the first time, but put yourself out there, write a little note, introduce yourself, get connected with people, comment on their comments. You don't necessarily have to show your face per se yet if that makes you uncomfortable, but take baby steps to contribute. And sometimes just commenting, like I said, is that giving back. If other people are being vulnerable and putting themselves out there, if you acknowledge their existence, you're helping them and helping yourself. It just may not seem obvious that you're helping yourself by giving it away. I love that concept. You can't keep it if you don't give it away. It's a beautiful sentiment. So that is your mission now. See? That's your homework. I haven't given you homework in a while, so I guess you deserve some. Yeah, put yourself out there. Try to meet some new people. Go to a new meeting online or a different outlet. Like I told you, I went yesterday to a different meeting. I went to a different meeting earlier in the week. So essentially, I met close to probably 100 people I never met before. Met virtually, but still had some exposure. And I'm of the belief that, the people that we meet and come across are put there for a reason. So maybe you need to just show up and see what the universe delivers you. Okie doke, folks. Have a great Saturday. Stay warm.